Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Namaste, Purna.
Namaste.
Happy to see you back.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, me too. Happy to be back to routine.
Namaste, Kumar.
We got back
Namaste, everyone.
yesterday. We just got back from India.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I came around 3:30 or 4 p.m. So I had good rest. So I thought I'll join the class today.
Good. Okay, let's start with 3 ohms as usual. Please take a deep breath. And remember the Sankalpa. Take a deep breath. Om. Namaste to all of you. Suprabhatam. Namo Namaha, depending on where you are. So let's start with a chant from Purna. Purna, go ahead.
Yeah, it's from 1.1 to 1.40, right?
Yes.
I'll start with the Patanjali prayer and then chant. Oh. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणम् सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः। अथ समाधिपादः अथ योगानुशासनम् योगः चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः तदा द्रष्टुः स्वरूपे अवस्थानं वृत्तिसारूप्यम् इतरत्र वृत्तयः पञ्चतयः क्लिष्टाः प्रमाण विपर्यय विकल्प नेत्र स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्ष अनुमान आगमाः प्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानम् अतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्द ज्ञानानुपाति वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभावप्रत्ययालम्बना तमोवृत्तिर्निद्रा अनुभूतविषय असम्प्रमोषः स्मृतिः अभ्यासवैराग्याभ्यां तन्निरोधः तत्र स्थितौ यत्नोऽभ्यासः स तु दीर्घकाल नैरन्तर्य सत्कार आदरा आसेवितो दृढभूमिः दृष्टानुश्रविक विषयवितृष्णस्य वशीकारसंज्ञा वैराग्यं तत्परं पुरुषख्यातेः गुणवैतृष्ण्यं वितर्क विचार आनन्द अस्मितारूप अनुगमात् सम्प्रज्ञातः विरामप्रत्यय अभ्यासपूर्वः संस्कारशेषः अन्यः भवप्रत्ययो विदेहप्रकृतिलयानां श्रद्धा वीर्य स्मृति समाधिप्रज्ञा पूर्वक इतरेषां तीव्रसंवेगानाम् आसन्नः मृदु मध्य अधिमात्रत्वात् ततोऽपि विशेषः ईश्वर प्रणिधानाद्वा क्लेश कर्म विपाक आशयैः अपरामृष्टः पुरुषविशेष ईश्वरः तत्र निरतिशयं सर्वज्ञबीजं स एष पूर्वेषामपि गुरुः कालेनानवच्छेदात् तस्य वाचकः प्रणवः तज्जपः तदर्थभावनं ततः प्रत्यक्चेतनाधिगमः अपि अन्तराया भावश्च व्याधि ध्यान संशय प्रमाद आलस्य अविरति भ्रान्ति दर्शन अलब्ध भूमिकत्व अनवस्थितत्वानि चित्तविक्षेपाः ते अन्तरायाः दुःख दौर्मनस्य अङ्गमेजयत्व श्वास प्रश्वासाः विक्षेप सह भुवः तत्प्रतिषेधार्थम् एकतत्त्वाभ्यासः मैत्री करुणा मुदितोपेक्षाणां सुख दुःख पुण्य विषयाणां भावनातः चित्तप्रसादनं प्रच्छर्दन विधारणाभ्यां वा प्राणस्य विषयवती वा प्रवृत्तिरुत्पन्ना मनसः स्थिति निबन्धिनी विशोका वा ज्योतिष्मती वीतरागविषयं वा चित्तं स्वप्ननिद्रा ज्ञानालम्बनं वा यथाभिमतध्यानाद्वा परमाणु परममहत्वान्तः अस्य वशीकारः.
Thank you, Purna. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have seen almost 30 sutras by now. In the first 4 sutras, Patanjali Muni gives the executive summary. He says what is yoga. Yoga is the control of chitta vritti. And when we are in yoga, and then we are observers. And when we are not, then we identify ourselves with all the chitta vrittis, meaning chitta vrittis and their activations. So that's what he says in the first 4 sutras, which is the executive summary. So this is also the first section, starting from Sutra 1 to Sutra 17 is the first section. And since he spoke about chitta vrittis, that those are the main cause of not being in yoga, he explains what chitta vrittis are. So he says there are 5 types of chitta vrittis. Some of them are painful, some of them are not. And then he identifies those 5 chitta vrittis and explains what they are. Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. So pramana is evidence-based. Viparyaya is misconception. Vikalpa is Vishesha Kalpa, Vishesha imagination. So Vikalpa is delusion. Nidra is sleep. And Smriti is things that come from our memory. So he explains what each one is later on. We have seen all that. And then he gives a short few sutras on how to overcome these. That is with Vairagyabhyam. That is with a sense of detachment, we can quieten the chitta vrittis. And when that sense of detachment becomes a nice practice, abhyasa, with that abhyasa nicely established, and for a long period of time, and done with a sense of goodness, then it gets nicely and firmly established in us, that quietening of that. So with that, we don't identify ourselves with what we hear, what we see. So we become a kind of, what should we say, immune to these kinds of things that are falling on our ears and eyes. It's a kind of withdrawal from the senses, because your eyes and your eyes and ears are giving you all this different stories. So there is a withdrawal from all that, those kinds of senses. So that's what he's saying. And then when it is done, when such a thing happens, the next stage is internally the Purusha. You begin to identify yourself with the Atma or Purusha. So all this Atma, etc., they are not hardware, they are all software. Please understand that. So following that, he says, when we get to that stage, then we will be, because everything has quietened, we will be able to do Vitarka Vichara, Ananda Asmita, and that brings in Samprajñātaka state. So Vitarka, that is discussion, and then you ponder, and then in that, because there is so much of Ananda, so much of peace in you, you let go of that question. And since we have the ability to experience, we get the answer back as an experience. And when it is done constantly, what comes from that is Samprajñātah, the absolute wisdom comes to that person. And then he goes on to explain, before we get to this, in the next 3 sutras, he explains what are the other states you might get before you get there. So having said all this, from here, we move on to section 2. We completed section 1. And in section 2, he says, for this, to get to the states, it depends on the intensity with which you apply yourself. And then he explains, based on the intensity, it can be light, mridu, madhya, adhi. It can be light, it can be moderate, or it can be excessive. Depending on that, the results are going to come. That's what he says. And then he says, you can do all that. Or for people who cannot do that, he says, by complete surrender to the Ishvara. The surrender, people don't understand. Surrender is not just going to the temple or in your puja room, prostrating before the divine. That is not surrender. Surrender is when a problem comes, when a situation comes, you are able to accept it as a blessing from the divine. Uma, are you able to hear me? When a great difficulty comes, when a very great difficulty comes, to be able to accept that as a prasadam. This is for Bhakti Yoga. In Jnana Yoga, we say the same thing as this is karma related. Madhavi, do you understand? You are asking for tips.
Okay, Kumarji.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Right. Sir. Thank
Yes.
you. Mhm.
Yeah. So you have two ways to do this. One through jnana, the other through bhakti. Bhakti
Surrender.
is complete surrender, accepting everything, and not keep on planning. Why am I getting this? Why am I doing this? Why cannot my so and so cannot do this? None of those planning. Accepting everything as divine given. That is what is surrender. Yes. So surrender is very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. But surrender can come. Mirabai had that surrender. That is why even today we are singing her bhajans. We only sing the bhajans. We don't take that. We don't take that jnana. We don't take that bhakti that she had. So please understand, the surrender is completely different from what you think as a surrender is not just chanting. Certainly not. And surrender also does not mean just prostrating. Surrender does not mean going to the temple. Surrender does not mean giving donation to the temple. None of that. It's much, much deeper and is internal. So that's what he says. With complete surrender to the divine. And then he says, who's that Ishvara to whom you surrender? That Ishvara, he says, is one who is beyond the karma klesha cycle. And he is a Visesha Purusha. This Visesha Purusha is beyond the karma klesha cycle. And then he says, he is the seed of all souls. That is the bijam, all the wisdom, sarvajnana, sarvajna. All the wisdom comes from him. And he is also the guru of all gurus, meaning he is the only guru. He is the ultimate guru. And this is unbroken by time. He is beyond time. So he is the only guru always and will always be the only guru in the past and in the present and in the future. And his communication is through the pranava, that is through Om. And when you do japa on that Om, you will understand the meaning of that. And when such things happen, and when those things happen to that person, he is supposed to be in a very, he will discover that he through pratyak chetana. Chetana is once again that atma. So he'll become in touch with that atma, and that in turn is the connectivity to the moon. That's all that is all about the characteristics of Ishvara. So we have seen all this, and now we move on to the Sutra 130. So he has said all this, and all this all that we have been seeing for the last, 5-6 weeks, all seem to be beyond us. So now Patanjali Muni is coming to reality. And what is that reality? That's what we are going to see in Sutra 130. Vyadi Sthana Samshaya Pramada Alasya Avirati Bhranti Darshana Alabdha Bhumikatva Anavasti Tatvani Chitta Vikshepastehi Antarayaha. Okay. So now he says, okay, I understand. Most of you cannot be able to do what I have said so far. Complete surrender, you may not be able to do the mind, controlling the chitta just by focusing in that you're not able to do. And why is that you're not able to do? That's what he says here. If you look at the last word, antarayaha. Antarayaha is the ekavachanam, is the singular. Antarayaha is the plural. Antarayaha is the pullinga padam. Antarayaha is plural, is the bahuvachanam. Means antarayaha means obstacles. We have seen this earlier, impediments. Vikshepastehe means delusion. Okay. Chitta Vino, our programmed entity, right? We are all chittas. Chitta Vikshepastehe Pastehi Antarayaha. Chitta Vikshepastehi Antarayaha. Obstacles that are deluding the chitta. That's what it means. Obstacles or impediments that are deluding our chitta, my chitta. And what are they? That we already know, right? That is why we are not able to focus, nothing we are able to do. We are not able to completely surrender, although we talk about all these things. So he says, now he is saying, what causes all this? What is the cause? Vyadi, diseases in the body, right? Sthana, mental inertia. When it comes to spirituality, there is mental inertia. Shamshaya. Shamshaya means Shamshaya means it's ekavachanam, means question. Questions, doubts, Samshaya. In I'm sure probably in Telugu and other languages they have this, they use this word. In Sanskritam class, the teacher will ask, Shamshayaha asti va? She will ask, do you have questions? Pramada. Pramada means carelessness. Being careless with many things that we do. Alasya. Alasya means laziness. Avirati means sensual pleasure. Bhranti darshana. Bhranti darshana means delusional perception. Being deluded or even gone mad. Semi-mad. So delusional perception. Alabdha bhumikatva. Alabdha bhumikatva anavasati. So, alabdha bhumikatva means the feeling of a sense that you are unable to reach your goal or reach what you want. The feeling of a sense, the feeling of a sense that you are unable to reach your goal or reach what you want. These are all, spiritually we are talking about. Alabdha bhumikatva means unable to reach the feeling of that fear that you're unable to reach the goal or reach what you want. Anavasati tatvani. Anavasati tatvani is the fear that whatever has been attained, the fear that whatever has been attained so far spiritually, one cannot maintain it. Okay. So these are all the obstacles. Chitta viktepashte, chitta vikshepastehi, antarayaha. These are all the obstacles deluding our chitta. What are they? That's what we saw. The obstacles we saw. Vyadi is disease. Dhyana is mental inertia. Samshaya is doubts. All kinds of doubts. Pramada is carelessness. Alasya is laziness. Avirati is sensual pleasure. Bhranti darshana is delusional perception. Deluded or gone mad. Alabdha bhumikatva is all the things that I have, the feeling that I will not be able to reach the goal that I have set for myself. Anavasati tatvani. Anavasati tatvani means the fear that whatever has been attained, one cannot maintain it. See, all of the above are the obstacles. Is this clear? So we all should be able to identify with all these things. One or many of those things. So moving on to the next sutra.
Sir,
Yes.
what is the meaning? Can you please repeat the meaning for the Vyadi?
Vyadi is disease.
Vyadi, I know. Next one, sir.
Sthana. Sthana is mental inertia.
Okay.
If I want to take up a book and read, I keep on postponing it. I was thinking maybe it will be difficult for me. That's it.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Moving on to Sutra 131. Dukkha daurmanasya angamejatva shwasa prashwasa vikshepa sahabhuvaha. Dukkha daurmanasya angamejatva shwasa prashwasa vikshepa sahabhuvaha. So, sahabhuvaha means all of the above that has been said so far. Sahabhuvaha means all that has been said so far causes delusion or irregularity, vikshepa, delusion, along with dukkham. Dukkha is sorrow or misery. Daurmanasya is despondency, being despondent. Angamejatva means body parts, trembling of body parts. Shwasa prashwasa. Which causes irregular inhalation, exhalation. So this vikshepa is actually irregular. You have to take this as vikshepa shwasa prashwasa, causing irregular shwasa and prashwasa. Shwasa is inhalation, prashwasa is exhalation. So that's why we see when we are under these kinds of conditions, our breathing becomes shallow. That's why people say, right? Oh, cool down. Take a deep breath. Normally, if you are at peace, your breath will be nice and long. It won't be short.
Excuse me, Kumarji.
Yes.
What is Angame Vasya?
Angame Jatva. Angame Jatva
Angame
means
Jatva.
trembling of body parts, hands and legs, trembling.
Sir,
Yes,
means
Inhalation.
shivering.
I didn't hear you.
Means shivering. Trampling means.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Prashavasha. Regular inhalation, exhalation. Exhalation.
So obviously, this is a person in anxiety, depression, etc. is what is explained in Sutra Sutra 31, right? So this is a person in anxiety, depression. Like most of us are at different stages in life and different times in life. So kind of putting both 30 and 31, Sutra 30 and 31 together, this is the condition. What is the condition? Most people are in the state of mental or physical imbalance. And what is the nature of mental or physical imbalance is what we saw in Sutra 130. When a person is in a state of physical or mental imbalance, they are simply not in a state of being a pure observer, correct? The mind gets anxious, thinking of something or some part of the body. Some part of the body is failing, that is vyadhi, and not letting us to be a pure observer. So Patanjali Muni goes on to say how you should work with it. Start with, so that's what we are going to see in Sutra 32. So how do we take care of the above conditions? All this diseases, mental inertia, doubts, carelessness, laziness, always attracted towards sensual pleasure. We also have deluded perception, and that fear, that feeling of not being able to reach our goal, not also the fear that whatever we have might go off, are all the obstacles, along with sorrow, misery, despondency, trembling or shivering of different body parts, and all this make the breathing shallow. So that's what we saw. So now, having stated our condition, he has to give a prescription to change, to overcome all this, correct? So how to take care of the above conditions, how to overcome all these things is what he's going to say in the next set of sutras. From 32 to 40, he's going to give you a set of prescriptions. That is this clear? Shall we move on to 32?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Kumarji.
Yeah. So tat pratishedartham ek tattva abhyasah. Tat pratishedartham ek tattva abhyasah. So all of the above, pratishedartham means oppose the tendency. Oppose the tendency, or how you deal with something. Pratishedartham. Eka tattva means one-pointed focus. Eka tattva means one-pointed focus. How people from India, when they come here to USA, they become one-pointed focus on making money. Abhyasa, practice. We know, we have seen this already. So, tat pratishedhartham eka tattva abhyasa. Through one-pointed focus, to one-pointed practice, focus of practice, through focused practice, we can overcome all that we have said earlier. 30 and 31 sutras, whatever we have said earlier, all can be opposed, all can be stopped through one-pointed practice of one-pointed focus. And 133, when we do that, what happens when we are able to do that? And we also you are also able to do what is going to be given in 33. Let us see what it is. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshanam, Sukha Dukkha Punya Apunya Vishayanam, Bhavanataha Chitta Prasadhanam. Chitta Prasadhanam means it comes as a gift to your chitta. When I say chitta, not in the head, all chitta is all over, right? So comes as a gift to the chitta. What he is saying here is the chitta feels good when, let us see, Maitri, you have a sense of friendliness, Karuna, compassion, Karunai, in Tamil we say Karunai, right? Sense of compassion. Mudita, internal joy. Upekshana, Upekshana means disregard, ignoring. So, Sukha, we know, Sukham is feeling nice, good, happy. Dukkha, sorrow, misery. Punya, virtuous things. Apunya, non-virtuous things. Vishayanam is all this. Vishayam, in Tamil we say Vishayam, all this that we have listed so far. When you experience all this, then if you deal with them in the way that it is given here, your chitta will feel good. Bhavanataha means experiencing it and dealing with it in the way it has been given, in the way it has been suggested. We have not seen what has been suggested. Your chitta feels good all the time. It is at peace all the time. So let us see what he says. So we are going to take Maitri and we are going to match it with Sukha. The first word is the fifth word. Maitri, Sukha. Karuna with Dukkha. Mudita with Punya. Upekshana with Apunya. In school we have studied, right? Match the following. So this is how we are going to match.
Can you repeat it, Kumarji? Maitri, Sukha, Karuna.
Maitri, first word, Maitri, you match with Sukha. Karuna, you match with the next one, Dukkha. Just in sequence. Mudita, we match with Punya. Pekshana, we match with Apunya. So he's saying when nice things happen, Sukha, nice things happen, have a sense of friendliness with it. Don't go overboard and start jumping. The wedding is there. It's a nice event. What do? We go overboard. Don't we?
We'll be very happy.
We're not only happy.
For sure.
We jump. We do all kinds of all kinds of things,
Mhm.
show off our wealth, and then to show off how sincere we are with all the family traits.
Mhm.
We invite hundreds and hundreds or maybe thousands of people, so much of wastage. All this we do. So, but he says, and also when something like supposing you get a lottery, immediately we jump and immediately we throw a party. Wah, wah, wah. So much of noise is made. So he says, instead of that, have a sense of friendliness. Don't go overboard. Feel happy inside. Okay? Understood? Don't go overboard.
Mm.
That is all he's saying.
Not overboarding, sir. See, sometimes in life's couple of things will come only one time. Like at least with middle, we have to enjoy the things. I'm
I am
thinking.
not, see,
Mhm.
I am not saying you should not invite people
Mm.
to a wedding.
Mm.
I see in almost all the weddings, it is
Mm.
overboard.
Okay.
So much of wastage.
Mm.
If one person gives 20 items for lunch or dinner, then the other, and the next wedding, his friend will want to give 25.
Mhm.
Don't you see that?
No,
Don't you
and
see that in weddings?
be happy inside means sometimes when we if I'm happy, then my husband don't know unless I express to him, like
No,
some
not
song.
necessary. No,
Mm.
not at all.
Oh.
Words are cheap.
Mhm.
Yes. Happiness is internal. When you are internally happy, that vibration will be there all around you.
Oh.
Yes. But we
Mm.
don't know that, right?
Mm.
We
With
don't know. That is why it is easy to do it externally. Father's Day, everybody runs for lunch and dinner.
Mm.
Mother's Day, all mothers, they run for lunch and dinner.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Look at everything that we do.
Okay.
To have, let it be internal. Enjoy that internal. That's all he's saying.
Okay, sir.
So if you don't want to do all these things, you will continue to remain in the same state. You wanted tips. So these are all the tips.
Okay, sir.
Karuna. Karuna we match with dukkha. When sorrowful things happen, have a sense of compassion towards yourself. Have compassion to you and to others who are also, having that kind of a sorrow at that time. Not to get depressed. Not to think that you're the only one who is suffering in this world. So have a sense of karuna, have compassion to yourself. Only when you have compassion to yourself all the time, can you show compassion to others also all the time.
But you cry and you get over things.
Crying is one aspect.
Okay.
Yes, crying is a purification. It purifies. What does it purify? It takes away that sorrow.
Sorrow.
But this crying should not be for demonstration, to demonstrate that how sad you are.
Okay. Yes.
Have you seen people doing that?
Yes.
If they lose some loved one or some bad thing happens, the moment you speak to them, they will start. They will show that they have dukkha.
No, sometimes
It may
naturally
come.
comes.
I'm not saying it may come naturally. Also, I'm not saying that. In South Indian tradition, they hire people to cry,
People
right?
to cry. Yes.
Those kinds of things.
Yes.
Just like how we do for weddings, they do for death.
Yeah.
So that's what it means. Punya. when good things happen, when virtuous things happen, let that be internal joy.
Kumarji, here one doubt.
Yes.
This showing compassion towards others and oneself and towards others.
Yes.
How do you do it? Be understand that you have sorrow, or I didn't understand that.
How?
That compassion.
Yes. See, when a person is in dukkha, if you are a person who understands compassion, then you will be compassionate to that person.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
For that, you should have felt that compassion in you. When you had some difficult times, you have to have compassion for yourself. When you have deep sorrow and suffering, crisis comes. So that's how what it is.
Okay.
So
thank you.
When nice things are there, sukha, friendliness, dukkha, sorrowful things, have compassion. When virtuous things happen, then have a sense of internal joy. Feel good inside. Mudita is internal joy. Feel very happy. Wedding, feel very happy inside. Yeah, certain things have to be done, do it. Apunya, non-virtuous things. Like somebody is robbing somebody or whatever, somebody lost property or whatever, and don't get too much into that. Try to walk away, disregard them, because these are all things that happen. Help them, that's a different thing, but disregard, don't take it too much to what happens in these cases. Then we'll say, oh, if that is happening to us, then this may happen to me also, so let me now get one more insurance or build one more wall around my house. Those kinds of things. So when we do what is prescribed here, then there is a sense of moderation in life. So all these four things, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekshana, disregarding things, for Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya things, then there is moderation in life. You are always moderate. Or, I don't know, Uma, have you seen me jumping around?
No, Kumarji.
No, we were raised like that at home. And yeah, I laugh for a good joke, and that's a different thing. I know how people go overboard. I mean, it happens in my house too. So when it is happening, I just an observer. I never say anything. So it happens. Okay. All right. With me, people.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then let's go on to next sutra. Prachardana vidhara nabhyam va pranasya. Prachardana vidhara nabhyam va pranasya. So pranasya means breath. Prana. Pranasya means of the prana. That's what it means. It's a possessive noun, of the prana. See, our vitality comes from prana, right? Our vitality comes from prana. So prana is from the breath. So that's what he's saying. So here we are going to call prana as breath. Why? So the exhalation and holding, vidhara nabhyam, means holding of the breath. Okay. So this means inhalation and or holding of breath, or by expulsion or support. So there are a couple of things here. So prachardhana means exhalation. Vidhara nabhyam means holding of breath, and then inhaling. So he says by nice breath, nice deep breath, inhaling and holding the breath and exhale. So this is the kind of prana, kind of pranayama. That is what he is saying. But through that also, you can bring down the chitta vrittis. That is why pranayama is important. Va, he says there, right? Va pranasya. Va means or. The 32-33 or this, or all these things. One after the other is saying. For different people, for different things.
Kumarji, can I just say something here?
Yeah.
It's Kranti here. So prachardhana means holding after exhale, which is the definition. But how to see it practically is when we do any pranayama technique, like especially with Kapalabhati or something. So we expel the breath out forcefully from the body.
Correct.
And we hold. So how I can explain that is it's like cleaning. Exhalation is purifying. It is like a cleaning. So when we use a vessel, we clean it for a next usage. So when you hold after exhale, you are actually clearing up the residue from the previous action. So if for 1 hour, like from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., if I have done something and it has left me some bitter residue, by using the technique of exhalation, it need not be just Kapalabhati, but any technique, you have to suspend the breath. So you hold the lower abdomen in and wait. And when the inhale comes in, the inhale is known as the fresh prana, because breath is translated as a vital force. So you inhale the fresh energy into the system. It's like you clean up and then you bring the fresh energy.
Okay, thank you, Purna.
Oh,
Actually, yes, there are a few, like what she said, that Kapalabhati, and then there is Bastrika Pranayama. So these are all things that will energize you. That is why I keep on saying, people, please attend
daily
the free
online.
daily online yoga class. And nobody wants to listen to me. That is fine.
Kumarji, I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Like the Shloka 133, it was prescription for moderation in life, like,
Correct.
and that could be followed, or the pranayama that will make
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Or again he says, next sutra, he says, or Vishayavati va. So va, that's what he said. Va means or. Vishayavati va pravrittihi upanna manasah. Upanna manasah sthiti nibandinihi.
Utpanna, sir.
Uppanna manasaha.
Utpanna.
Uppanna manasaha.
Hmm.
So nibandini, banda means to hold. So nibandini means locking it down. So coming back to Vishayavati means subject matter, Vishayam. In Tamil we say Vishayam, right? Anytime we see Vishaya means subject matter. Pravrittihi. So the vritti we know, right? Activations. So you can control the activations. Pravrittihi means the activations which are happening all the time. You can control the nature of activations by, this is what we are trying to do, right? We are trying to control the activations. So that is why he is giving all these prescriptions. One, he says you can do it by pranayama. And now he is saying you can also control by focusing on a subject matter, Vishayavati. That's what he's saying. So if you keep the focus, so earlier we kept the focus on breath. That's how he started in Sutra 32. He says we can get rid of all this vyadi by abhyasa, right? So he's coming back to that now. He says by focusing on the subject matter, we can control we can lock down. That is what he's saying. We can lock down sthiti bandhini. Sthiti means remaining in the same state. We can lock down and keep it stable. The pravrittihi, the vrittis that are happening. How? The upanna manasaha means that which gives rise to. So the vritti, pravirtihi upanna manasaha means that which is giving rise to activations. That can be clamped down by focusing on a subject matter. Okay. And what is that subject matter, Vishayavati? That subject matter that comes to into your thought, that comes into your mind. Anything, any subject matter that you feel strongly about. You can focus on that subject matter. This is how he is starting the process of meditation, the process of focus. So if focusing on a particular story is very nice to you, focus on that story. That's what he's going to say, so many things. So let's go one by one. So is this kind of clear to you? Sutra 35.
Yes.
So the mind that has a tendency to run from one place to the another, right? So something that is a point of focus, a subject matter that comes into your mind, by focusing on that subject matter, the mind is held to an established point.
You cannot focus on any subject matter, right? Like it should be of morally good, or
Yeah. Yes. Morally good in the sense, supposing I like moon, I can be thinking about moon. I like stars, I can be thinking about stars. I like a rose flower, I can focus on the rose flower. Those kinds of things.
okay.
I like sun, I can be focusing on. I like my tree. This is in the front of my house. I can focus on the tree. Whatever. Any
Oh,
subject.
not on like I don't know how to say, like things like what you believe or what you not believe, not like that. Just here we have to focus on a subject.
Yeah, any subject. I mean, the subject could be anything. That's all you say.
Okay.
I think, sir, her question, sorry, Uma, I'm trying to put it in what you're thinking, trying to tell it to the sir. Suppose I have a big problem in my family, sir. So to divert that from my way, if I like some like a park, so I have to concentrate more on going to the park and atmosphere in the park. Like that, I have to concentrate. That is what I think she's asking.
I don't think she's saying that.
No?
No,
Okay.
I was thinking more like not it should be positive subject matter, not on a like negative, like you have a fight, you have something in your house, you can't focus on the
See,
problem. Like subject matter cannot be a problem, it should be
any subject matter that doesn't agitate you, right? The idea is to come to a stable state. So why would you take something that gives? Why would I focus on earthquake and
okay.
people screaming or a battle, people being killed? I won't focus on those things. Correct?
Correct.
Normally we want. That's
Right,
what I say.
right.
Pick up any subject. Okay, so let's stop here. It's already 7 o'clock. I have a commitment at 8:30. Actually at 8. I have to be there by 8. They have an International Day of Yoga in Tampa today. I'm one of the organizers. Part of that I have to be there. So I have to leave home at 7:30 in about 25 minutes. Thank you. Namaste. We'll start from that
Namaste.
sutra next week. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaste.
So kindly leave. You press the, click on the leave button so that the session ends.